Yo, yo, yo. What is going on, people? Oh my god, bro. I don't know why. I had like a moment. I'm like, wait a second. Shut up. But you know what, guys? We are here. Whew. We are talking some Spider-Man No Way Home future predictions between Spider-Man, the MCU, Peter Parker, so much shebang. Spoiler talk only in here. If you guys have not seen the movie, please, guys, don't spoil it for yourself. Don't ruin it. This movie has so many surprises that you should experience with an audience, because the audiences in this movie is fucking wild. And I can't wait to get into this so much. But yeah, one last time, spoiler warning. We're gonna have it at the bottom for anyone that joins the stream later, so they always know that, you know what, we're talking about every little nitty gritty detail about this movie in the future, about what it holds, because honestly, man, it's not looking very happy. So the end of that movie is pretty sad. We spoke about this. I think he dropped out of high school, or not even. Keep saying dropped out of high school, but it's not even that. The ramifications were so bad to the spell at the end of the movie that it literally made everyone forget who just Peter Parker was.
You know what I think it was, though, Ryan? Like, since the world forgot who he was, his diploma doesn't exist.
Oh, true. I didn't.
So
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He has no school record. So he
that's what I'm
has to
saying.
build from the
Never
bottom.
existed. So this is literally them pressing the fucking fresh restart and literally starting him from the bottom. Man, you know what? The entire scene, while pretty sad, it was gorgeous, bro. I loved it so much. It was a really gorgeous scene, very well lit. And my God, I want to see a Spider-Man Christmas movie. I need it. I need it.
I want to see a Spider-Man just swinging around New York City in the snow. Like that last scene of the film was gorgeous. And we barely even saw it.
In spirit, this was a Christmas movie. I'll fight anybody about it. We got presents, and it's all about coming together. Christmas movie.
In spirit. But man, we also left some other things off the table. Ned and MJ are still going to MIT. Well, Peter's stuck in New York now. No GED, no schooling, nothing. He's literally a fucking nobody. And I guess I'll really just start the engines going when it comes to theories. And I think Ned and MJ are gonna be gone for this whole second trilogy.
No,
I think if not MJ, Ned will definitely be gone. I think MJ is going to come back in that third film. I think she's going to make her way back slowly. But what do you do now that you took his two best friends away from him, and one of them's his girlfriend? You add in Norman Osborn and Gwen Stacy. I think that's where these two characters will come into play. And then they also said in the film that within Tom Holland, the MCU's universe, Oscorp doesn't exist. Norman Osborn does not exist to the public eye. So what I think is going to happen is they're going to put like a little bit of a modern twist on Oscorp. I think it's going to be like a non-for-profit, start me up, like feast style type of thing in genetic research. And that's how we start getting introduced to the Norman Osborn and Oscorp concept of it all. And honestly, maybe it's really weird, because I feel like maybe Hawkeye next week might change our opinions a little bit. MCU, then we're gonna meet her. Yeah, they're gonna be, the three of them are gonna be the trio, and Peter's gonna fall for Gwen because he realizes that Ned and his past girlfriend MJ are in MIT, and they'll only come back to visit. But what are the chances they ever see them when they don't even know him anymore? You know what I mean? So this is his chance to move on. And oh my God, bro, it's heartbreaking. It really is. But I'll keep it at that for now. What do you guys think? I'll go straight to you, Deibs, because I know you got the fucking factory going right now, bro.
I have so much to talk about with this show. So much. And I have a ton of notes that we have to address. Now, I just want to say thank you to the commenters. Keep them coming. Dan the man is rolling here. We got Daryl in the house. What's going on, man? been a while. Said Ned and MJ are going to Boston. Peter's getting his GED, enrolling at Empire State University. I have several storylines I want to touch on, moving forward that involves MJ and Ned, and some that don't. And I have several that that don't include either. So for me, I got to start off with Quentin Beck. I know we did a show about Far From Home versus Homecoming here. My just kind of random thought here was I go back to Quentin Beck, and I think he deserves a quick nod that Mysterio was such a great villain in Far From Home after watching No Way Home. You literally think a week ago, Peter was living his best life. He's got the girl he loves. He's got his friends. He's loving Aunt May. He's got an uncle in the waiting with Happy. He's traveling to Europe. He's a hero. And now he is completely alone at the end of No Way Home. He's lost everything. And that is essentially because of what Mysterio did. Mysterio set everything, aligned the planets going back to our review there. I thought, No Way Home made, for me, Far From Home, the much superior film here. So, you look at it, Mysterio got us Andrew and Toby. He also rebooted Tom's character here, where this next trilogy will proceed. And I think it really gives the Spider-Man creative team here just that chance to go with a completely clean slate. You look at, Peter moving into that crappy apartment, building his own suit, and then swinging around New York City in the snow. They could go so many different directions. And because of that, I'm going to be giving you stories here tonight that are all over the place. So we don't really know, but just remember that.
So before we move on to Loretta real quick, I want to mention there's this one little itch that keeps bugging the fucking back of my brain right now. And now we really got to look at the movie Morbius, because how does that movie really connect to this movie at this point? Because in that movie, we see Michael Keaton's Vulture in it, who acknowledges who Morbius is. And this dude's in prison. So I honestly, how does that incorporate with everything? How does that really work? Because we also know Morbius is in Venom's universe. And we know that Venom went back at the end of No Way Home. With the most pointless fucking 2 post-credit scenes of all time in the MCU. But that's besides the point. That is besides the point. It just leads me to be really confused because I can't even begin to imagine what they're going to do with that Vulture character.
Yeah.
Honestly, I've been hearing rumors that Spider-Man might be swinging on by within that next episode of Hawkeye, because Hawkeye does take place after No Way Home. Oh my God. Bro, how did we not make this connection before? Think about it, bro. What? This movie ends during fucking Christmas time.
Nice.
And Hawkeye's take, dude, right? No, it's.
Do you think we're getting the finale? We're getting the finale of Hawkeye.
And they purposely did it a week after No Way Home. They did the first 2 episodes with this season. They didn't do it with Loki. Bro, it makes sense. It's all aligning perfectly. So who really knows, bro? I'm really excited. Imagine.
Christopher nails it right there. He said Peter running into the tracksuit mafia would be hilarious. And I love the comment. I want to talk about Craven. I'll let Loretto speak. But I have a Craven thing I want to talk about. And Daryl says he's finally Spider-Man. The entire trilogy was his origin story. And it was I love how it started with Green Goblin, Sam Raimi, and it ended here in No Way Home, cementing Tom Holland as this adult, cementing him as, the officially Spider-Man. And he finally had, consequences to his actions. He overcame them. But does he choose to kind of be your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, hang out with Daredevil, stop crime with my man Daredevil in New York? Or does he, earn back, try and join the Avengers as well? So he's at kind of the crossroads here.
Also Venom 2 being introduced. It's really hard to say, but really just Venom is introduced now, I guess you can say, again, into the MCU. But
I have a Craven story and I have a Venom story. So go ahead, Loretto. Sorry. I'm all over the place tonight.
I know. I'll just say we jumped to like 4 different topics. So what am I talking about?
Whichever one you want to talk about.
No, but I mean, what was the initial kicking point, though?
We were just talking about general impressions about where this franchise, where's Peter Parker's character arc is heading towards.
I was going to say, I love Daryl's comment. Missed you, Mr. Doty. Good to see you, Daryl. I love that. This entire trilogy was his origin story, and the boy has become a man. I love that. And, you know, I think, what's his name? Tristan has hidden something too. I think Scorpion, to have that cameo at the end of Homecoming, it wouldn't make sense to not come back to that, especially that we didn't come back to it in this trilogy even. So I think that would make a lot of sense to see, what's his name? Matt Gargan?
Matt Gargan.
If we don't see him in Spider-Man 4, I think that would be a huge swing and a miss for MCU to like bring up this character and just never talk about him again. So I think that's on the nose. I think we will see him, and I do think the symbiote will be a big storyline in 4. But I feel like I wouldn't want them to rush into it. I know we're 3 movies in with Tom, but I would love the symbiote to be seen a little bit later, maybe 5, 6 in that trilogy, the college trilogy, whatever you want to call it. But I'm excited. I'm excited to see Tom really become his own man, face the struggles that Peter Parker really does face. I would love if he gets some fresh cookies brought from next door, something like that.
I was kind of expecting him to show up for a second. Like it felt like a moment he just pop in, saying like, "This is when your rent's due,"
right?
And he just like pops next door.
I would have been overboard.
And then Ursula's like, "Hi, Pete, cookies." But yeah, hey, we'll see, man. I'm excited. So I can't wait till we start digging a little deeper, man.
You're a good woman. You're a good man.
Hey.
All right, I'm gonna go.
That dive.
Cheers, bro. Oh man, I love that guy. He's funny.
That guy's awesome.
We have Christopher saying, "I have a potential character who would be the host for Venom." Let's start off with Venom. Let's go right into Venom.
Yeah, I guess so.
Which was the post-credit scene. Which
I literally rewatched Let There Be Carnage 2 today, guys, and let me tell you, I'm not feeling good.
It's so bad. I got through 20 minutes. I turned it off. I was like, nah, I can't watch this. I thought that was like one of the funniest parts of this movie was Kevin Feige going, "No, I don't want any of this Hardy Venom shit in my MCU," and he just punted him to the moon. And that was it. He was literally in the MCU for like 2 seconds, and I thought it was hilarious. But what do I think about Venom moving forward? You look at Tom Holland's Spider-Man. He's just entering grief, this stage of grief, and I think that's where this black symbiote is going to come in. I think Andrew Garfield's character in No Way Home kind of foreshadowed this a little bit about how he became like so full of rage and rageful with the death of his MJ, aka Gwen Stacy. So I expect a very bitter and lost Peter in this next trilogy. The symbiote will definitely enhance that side of him. And I think they're going to make that black suit story a little different than before. I don't think we're going to get the full Venom character. I totally expect Tom to have the black suit, but I don't expect to have like Venom as the villain. And where I'm going with this is you look at kind of like Spider-Man Homecoming to Spider-Man Far From Home, that trauma and loss Peter endured has every reason for him to be vengeful. And I think that still is going to linger in him somewhat. He's literally alone. He doesn't have anybody to help him at this point. So I am looking at Agent Venom. We have Tristan Verse saying Flash Thompson or Eddie Brock. Oh, he has someone that's not Flash Thompson or Eddie Brock. I'm going the Flash Thompson route. Ryan, you said, how do we kind of get MJ and Ned, around our guy Spider-Man? Here it is. Agent Venom is a storyline where the Venom symbiote kind of gets a hold of Flash Thompson. We know Flash Thompson is heading to MIT as well. We know that Flash Thompson is he very much wants to be Spider-Man's best friend. There's been some character arc development there. We know that he's probably going to be rooming with Ned and MJ, probably now that Peter Parker is not going to be doing that. So I think in Agent Venom, that symbiote is going to drive Flash to do some like extreme things, including killing others in the comics. So I think this could be a really easy way to tie all 3 of those of Spider-Man's past 3 friends together in a future film. So that's my first storyline Agent Venom be something completely different than we've seen from, Venom, Let There Be Carnage, and, Spider-Man 3.
No, yeah, definitely. Honestly, the opportunity is fucking huge to like with so many characters in this next trilogy. They set so many different things up that you don't even know like how they could really connect them all. I'm not gonna jump to it yet, but like Craven, like so many different connecting pieces and having these two different universes that really seemed like they were gonna connect together for like 2 months. And then they said, nah, fuck your life. And I'm like, okay, bro, that was like the weirdest thing they could have done, but that's whatever. Yeah. I'm very curious to know like what they do with the symbiote because the way like I get what you're saying, Deebs, but like the way you can interpret that is really just Spider-Man 3. He is at one of his lowest lows at that point in his life. And the suit just enhances it pretty much, or the Venom symbiote enhances it. And I kind of hope they don't fall under that same pattern of what they're gonna do, like especially specifically, actually, I should say, like whenever he does become that darker Peter with his hair all down, dyed hair, get on this, like please, I don't want them to do that. But yeah, honestly, if going to Flash Thompson in this universe, can't really see him playing any sort of Venom. So I don't think they would do that. I think that they were joking around with Jacob Bateman or Ned in this movie with him being the Sorcerer Supreme using the Doctor Strange ring, which is really cool. I think that was a little tease, but like, yeah, I don't see like Tony Ravioli's Flash Thompson becoming Venom. I definitely think they're gonna go with Eddie Brock again, introduce a different version of Eddie Brock. Maybe they'll definitely have Peter working for the Daily Bugle. That is coming.
Wouldn't it be so easy? I'm sorry, Ryan. Just real quick. Wouldn't it be so easy to have like J. Jonah Jameson working for the Daily Bugle, but who owns that? Kingpin. Like that would be just such an easy way to incorporate that, right?
Honestly, I don't even think that was a second guess. I honestly think that's probably what they'll do. They need to. They need to. It needs to happen because like now, like even Hawkeye even opens the field for who Spider-Man can meet and go against now too. Like they definitely set those two up, these two shows or show and movie up perfectly in sync because they're just gonna connect at the end of the day. Like, man, I can't wait to see Spider-Man and Daredevil, Spider-Man and Hawkeye, because I think Hawkeye is just gonna go off with that gun stuff. That's some really good stuff. But what about you, Loretta? What do you think about all this Venom?
No, I'm excited. It just sucks. I mean, between the comments and Deibs, you guys kind of hit the nail on the head. I love the story of Agent Venom. I also like the fact that it's not even just him being the nemesis for Peter. At some point, he does start getting contracted by the government to go on his own missions and stuff like that. And I think that'd be a really fun take on the character, going the Flash Thompson route. But at the same time, are you guys familiar with Tristan's suggestion about Lee Price?
So who is Lee Price?
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that.
I don't know. I like this. Like, I fully agree, but with Daryl's comment here that this movie, No Way Home, set up, those the OG, Spider-Man stories from the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s. Like, I think that is the source material for what we're going to see moving forward. And I have some stories here, mostly like Hobgoblin. I think we're going to get a potential Hobgoblin story and some others that I want to get into. That includes a little bit of Reed Richards as well. Venom and Spider-Man and Reed Richards and Johnny Storm, they all were together at one point in one story. So there's just so much to talk about, man. So much to talk about.
No, yeah, honestly, like I love the Rogues Gallery, and I don't think he meant Lee Pace because he's talking about a character in a comic book rather than an actor.
I know who that is.
Yeah, everyone knows who this is. But like, dude, think about it. We got Craven coming in, we got Venom coming in. I hope we get a good like Hobgoblin.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what the fuck New Goblin was. Because get that nonsense bullshit out of here. Give me Hobgoblin. I think he's a scarier version of the Green Goblin, in my opinion. So I think that'd be a really cool, interesting task, especially now that he's gone up against the Green Goblin.
There it is.
Lee, it's whose connection to them? Tombstone and Kingpin, the
All right.
comics.
I like that. that.
Yeah. I'm
I'm
curious, like what their a live action Tombstone's gonna look like.
That's cool. But yeah, the Hobgoblin, original Hobgoblin saga would be, pretty much perfect for a movie in the next trilogy. You look at kind of, Peter Parker, Tom Holland's Peter Parker going up against the Green Goblin. Given we saw that in No Way Home, I think having Hobgoblin moving forward is, definitely in play. Given how like crazy, batshit crazy Norman Osborn was in No Way Home, I think it would be a refreshing take on Hobgoblin, because he's not crazy like Norman. He's more cunning. He's a schemer. He's more calculated. I think this could be a really fun kind of movie where you have Tom Holland and the Hobgoblin playing a game of like cat and mouse where Peter Parker has to use intelligence again, like we saw in No Way Home, to kind of figure out who the hell Hobgoblin is. So that would potentially maybe include Ned, maybe from a different universe, multiverse. Definitely not this one. Maybe he just, same kind of redemption arc, same kind of thing where Spider-Man wants to kind of fix him rather than get him away from Ned and MJ and Spider-Man. We'll see, but I definitely think Hobgoblin is one to keep an eye on.
Yeah, honestly, I hope we see a Hobgoblin. They also teased Kraven and Rhino in the movie. I want to see Rhino. Rhino is one of my favorite Spider-Man villains. Like he's so out there, but like I want classic Rhino. I don't want that mechanical bullshit. Like it was cool for like the few seconds I saw it, but then I got tired of it really fucking fast. I'm like, nah, bro, get this shit out of here. Even Andrew Garfield made a joke about it in the movie. Like, stop, bro. Hammer time just does the dance. But shit, where was I going with that?
Kraven is my number one. It has been.
Yeah?
Loretto knows this. Like it has always been Kraven for me. I would love to see Kraven on the big screen. So you think about like what do we know about Peter Parker after No Way Home? Peter's journey in the MCU is without question as dark as it can be, and his story, Kraven, is one of the darkest Spider-Man stories in the comics. Period. The main villain, Kraven, literally commits suicide after in the end here. This is Kraven's Last Hunt. Make sure you go check it out. It's legit the best because you have amazing action sequences between Peter and Kraven. You've got a completely fresh story about a villain who actually defeats him, which would be something new that we haven't seen in the MCU. You've got this crazy character that's completely layered. He comes from a super dysfunctional childhood. He battles mental illness like Norman Osborn. I think what works best about Kraven's Last Hunt is Spider-Man. Like he's still like Spider-Man literally gets drugged and buried alive, and he overcomes it and comes back. And you know what? He still tries to save Kraven, and I think that would tie perfectly with Aunt May and her last words. With great power comes great responsibility. When you help someone, you help everyone. We also know that John Watts wanted Kraven to be the main villain in Far From Home. He wanted him instead of Mysterio. He wanted Kraven. So I definitely think that is definitely something to watch. I would love Kraven. He's, we see the kind of this darker adult Peter Parker. We have, Spider-Man, like he's adult. He is, near prime. This would be a perfect time for Kraven.
No, we're definitely getting Kraven sooner than later. I mean, Aaron Taylor Johnson's playing him in 2023 in his own solo film. So he's like reverse building their universe. It's so odd. They're introducing their universe through the villains. You know what? I give them some props for sticking to it because it's an interesting way to build a universe. Some way different. I give it respect. And you know what I gotta say, bro? Like I can't even imagine. I would be fucking scared of Aaron too. Like if you guys watch dude, homie's jacked as fuck. So I hope he plays like a really good Kraven. I hope they give him like the mustache and like the goatee. And bro, whenever they introduce him into the MCU, somebody is making a Tony Stark joke. It's gonna happen. It's the goatee, bro. It's the goatee. But Loretta, what about you? Do you have like any other theories to talk about?
Villain wise, because it's just so funny. After 9 films, we've seen so many. Like literally in No Way Home. We've seen them all. I mean, Sandman, Lizard, Electro. So my thing is, I'm really curious about possible team ups at this point, because in the cartoon we see a lot of Punisher. I mean, Murdoch literally appeared in No Way Home. Now we got John Watts doing Fantastic Four. Gives me the Peter tingles, because Johnny Storm and Peter Parker are really good friends in the comics, and I've seen some really great back and forth between them. I would love a Human Torch Spider-Man-esque adventure at some point down the line. I don't know when we'll get there, but I'm excited for his team ups. Go ahead, Deibs.
He literally goes to college and he's a roommate with Johnny Storm. Like, that would be such an easy way to get the Fantastic Four in a Spider-Man film. Like, there's Spider-Man.
Oh my God,
or douchebag Johnny Storm, and he's like throwing parties and pissing off Spider-Man and Peter Parker. That would be just a kind of a fun thing where maybe we don't know that it's Johnny Storm at first, but then it's revealed later in the film that is the Human Torch. You know,
I literally got an even easier way. He interns for Baxter Building.
Yeah.
And that's how he meets, bro. Like, oh my God. And it's gonna happen because John Watts is doing Fantastic Four, bro. Yeah. He's gonna try and do something like that, because he, like, I posted a tweet about this earlier. Like, literally, Spider-Man, this trilogy, better than Maguire's trilogy, better than Garfield's duology, better than all of them. Like, literally, bro, when I tell you how good this fucking movie is, it is the best Spider-Man film of all fucking time. But dude, so many just things to go on, and I really do think within that third movie, within the college trilogy, or whatever they're gonna call this, the college trilogy, I'm gonna go back to that word because that's the only word we can really use right now. So I think we're definitely gonna get Sinister Six by the third movie, and that's how gonna be their climax. But bro, I'm telling you right now, Vulture. It's gonna be Vulture. It's gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be Venom. I definitely don't think it's gonna be Venom. I think it's gonna be Scorpion, Craven, Rhino, Hobgoblin.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I don't know if I really want them to, but I kind of want them to try their own version of Doc Ock, because I feel like with the Sinister Six, Doc Ock is like one of the leaders, but I think he's going to be one of the leaders, but Kingpin is going to be like the funder of the money and the equipment, the man at the top, giving them the stuff they need to move on. And I think with this college trilogy, we're really going to see, just like we see with the MCU kind of going more towards space. It's weird. New York City is going to have like this own little storyline always happening within it. That'd be pretty cool. Spider-Man and the Human, but you know what the problem is? Disney does not own the rights to use Spidey in TV.
Really?
form.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so that's why when they announced the animated show, they both, Sony and Marvel, both co-own the animation rights to Spider-Man.
Yeah,
That's why it's much easier to do Spider-Man in animation.
And that's why he was in What If?
Yeah, that's why he was in What If.
So that means he's not in Hawkeye then.
That's the thing. But you see how like slow they are with working with Tom Holland's Spider-Man. Like now they're really gonna just do like 3 movies at a time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But honestly, I think he's gonna do another trilogy and another Avengers film. And then you know what? That's when I think we're gonna start questioning it. Because the MCU's you stick for a while, man, and he's been doing this since 2016. But they're setting up some massive things for this character that I'm really excited about. Deibs, you look like you had something to say. I'm sorry for going.
There's something so much to say. Just going back to this comment by my man Daryl, I would love to see Peter Parker team up with Daredevil. That is a no-brainer. That is happening, no question about it. Taking on Kingpin and Mr. Negative. I think that is a really good bet. If I had to put odds on it, that is super, super high. And then you throw in Felicia Hardy as Black Cat. I think that's a great film for the Spider-Man 4. I think that would be a safe bet. But yeah, I love how you brought up the Baxter Building, because there's actually a story with Spider-Man breaking into the Baxter Building to get a job. And the Fantastic Four are like, yo, we're a nonprofit organization here. Sorry, man. That would be fun. So you saw in No Way Home when Peter was working in the lab with all those villains from previous films. Like that was so much Reed Richards vibes. It just screamed off the screen. So I'd love, maybe not in Spider-Man 4, but could you imagine, setting up that dialogue between Peter Parker and Reed Richards, just like we saw that amazing banter between Hulk and Tony Stark in the first Avengers film. That needs to happen. That 100% needs to happen.
No, absolutely. I mean, dude, the possibilities are huge now. Especially, dude, they hit their reset button. That's literally the thing that makes this like prediction so hard, is because I feel like at the end of the day, really all of us are all right. Regardless if they do everything within one movie over and over again, or if they split up different plot lines from everything we've saying into different films to overall connect. Like, bro, like all these things are happening one way or another. Like this next trilogy is about to be bonkers. Just seeing how the ending of the Homecoming trilogy was, because if you look at No Way Home and look at Homecoming, man, dude, those they all feel so different. And I hope they keep the tone of the ending of this film for the college trilogy. And I kind of hope they keep that Blade Runner 2049 look too, because man, I'm a sucker for like that neon noir type.
Well, what's exciting from like a film cinephile perspective is, I mean, John Watson's gonna have his hands full of Fantastic Four. So not to say that he couldn't do this next trilogy, but I think having a fresh voice, like a new director to come in and just give Tom Holland's iteration of the character some new life, whether it's a little bit darker or a little bit more different in the way it's presented, I think there's a lot of possibilities there for something exciting.
Honestly, bro, dude, the endless possibilities. That's really what it comes down to. The real question we have to ask ourselves is, when are they going to come? Because, dude, Craven's not going to come for a while, because that's going to be 2023 for his own solo movie. And then they're going to probably give him a little bit of break. But you know what? Honestly, I think we're getting the next Spider-Man film, because if you guys don't know, they did confirm that today. They're already planning the next movie. Yeah, what's going on, Deibs? You're muted, Poppy.
Sorry, guys. I love this comment by Cool Cat saying Miles Morales in Spider-Man 4 would shred the box office. That is like of all these amazing scenarios that we just have brought up after 30 minutes, like that is a no-brainer. Like having, like we saw What If, sorry, spoilers, tied into Doctor Strange and the multiverse of madness. That there's connective tissue with What If and Doctor Strange. Why can't it be Into the Spider-Verse, Across the Spider-Verse with Spider-Man 4? Imagine, like I said this during the spoiler review last night, but like I have dreams of like Tom Holland laying in bed in his apartment. He has no money. He looks up at the ceiling, and just like Spider-Verse, a portal opens and it's like Spider-Gwen or it's Miles Morales coming out and say, "Hey, buddy, I need help right now. Like Ultimate Goblin's giving me the shit. I need your help. Come with me, bro." And they go out and get it done, all that kind of stuff. Like, and it's out of New York City. It's not in the current MJ, Ned, MIT, Flash, that kind of shit. So that would be just a fun Spider-Man 4 to kind of like, maybe you kind of target Peter Parker's grief and all that kind of stuff in a different universe or a multiverse. That's a no-brainer. That is just such a no-brainer. Miles needs to be in the MCU.
I mean, they've done nothing but hint at it in the Homecoming trilogy. I mean, the first movie with Miles Davis in it, and literally in the third one, Electro says, "Oh man, I thought you'd be black. Why is there no black Spider-Man?" They literally say it in the movie, so directly, and I'm like, "Come on, bro. I don't think we're really gonna get him as a Spider-Man in this trilogy. I think we're gonna get him introduced as Miles Morales first. I think we're gonna get to know who the character is as a secondary character being built up. I think maybe we'll get introduced to him in the fifth movie. I'll say it now. We'll get introduced to him in the fifth movie. And that means any amount of screen time, like even if we just see his face, you're introduced, bro.
I need to see Miles and Peter teaming up together in the next Avengers movie. That has to happen. I love like Daredevil and Daredevil and Spider-Man team up, Spider-Man 4, Spider-Man 5. I'd love it. I will cry my eyes out on the big screen when that happens. It's going to happen. But, the big ticket, the long-term play here is Miles and Peter fighting alongside, and that dynamic. We saw how amazing it was to have Andrew and Toby and Tom together on the big screen. That is their ticket. That is their bread and butter of the Spider-Man franchise moving forward. That needs to happen. Miles, Peter on the big screen, working together with their webs, and Miles, how he's different than Tom Holland's Peter Parker. That is just a no fucking brainer.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I was a little bit more hopeful going in that they'd leave the door a little bit more opened in regards to multiversal travel between the Spider-Men. And now watching Venom Let There Be Carnage again today, I gotta say, why didn't they keep like the aspect of like how it looked when they were teleporting to a different dimension? You know what I mean? Like that interdimension look. And I'm just like, they can't, because they kind of like sent them back in such a boring way. I'm like, all you do is just turn into a yellow dust. I'm like, bro, what? Shake my fucking screen. You're traveling multiverses, bro. I'm not saying you gotta pull some Spider-Verse shit where your comic book is coming out of your asshole or something. But like, come on, bro. But that's a little pet peeve of mine. Oh my god, bro. Yeah, I cannot wait to just know what this next film is about.
It's
You know what I mean?
exciting, man. It's exciting.
Yeah, so many.
Amazing.
Do you guys have any more theories before we start wrapping it up?
No, I do think that the next plot of Spider-Man will be source material wise will be in the 60s 70s area. I think that's pretty much a no-brainer at this point as well. So again, I'm just so excited that we just have this No Way Home film to kind of celebrate. I can't wait to see it again. It is a special film for me. I cried 3 different times. It is one of the greatest movie theater experiences for me since obviously Endgame. So I can't wait to talk about it. We're going to be talking about this for a long time.
Yeah, man. Honestly, I can't tell you how good it felt sitting there and seeing Andrew and Toby come back and hearing the crowd just fucking lose it. Because if I'll be honest, I did not expect this to get that type of feeling in a theater again for a good old while. Not because of just COVID, but just because of the pure amount of hype that went into Endgame alone. But man, oh man, they did it again only a few years later, and I give them so much credit. And it really leaves the door wide open for this character. And not only the Spider-Man's, the Spunk universe with Sony, or just the MCU alone, just the infinite possibilities. But thank you guys so much. Oh, no. Deibs, go ahead.
Doesn't it make sense to have like the team up, Miles and Peter team up? And he goes to a different multiverse and he sees Aunt May or he sees Miles with a new or something. I don't know, but like, doesn't that make sense too? Like Peter is grieving and he actually has to like let go of another Aunt May or protect another Aunt May from whatever's happening, whether that's like Ultimate Goblin or something like that. That would make total sense.
I think we're going to see a pretty closed off Peter for whatever the next film is. I think he's going to keep his distance from everybody, do what he has to do to succeed just by on the daily life of living, making money, working for the Daily Bugle. Like we're going to see that nitty gritty, really grim part of Peter Parker's life now. He's by himself. He has no money. He has no degree, no job. All he's got is his fucking small shitty apartment and a Spider-Man suit, and I can't wait, bro.
Doesn't that make sense to do Craven? Like literally, like he's got right now is Spider-Man.
Everything we said tonight makes sense.
But if you have Craven, he literally takes his Spider-Man away from him. Like that makes so much sense. Like, and then you literally strip Peter of nothing.
Everything.
Nothing.
Yeah. Oh my God, bro. Just so many theories. Guys, please comment down below like what some of your theories are going on, where you see this character going, where you see Spider-Man going. Because honestly, guys, we're super curious. We want to hear what you guys are thinking. Because right now, man, we're 40 minutes into just like theories, bro. And this is insane. And this was just a movie we saw yesterday. I love sitting here with you guys talking about geeking out about movies and just getting that little old itch with your little finger. You're like on the back of your neck. You're like, God damn, I got you. I got the itch, bro. And that's what this movie is. But you guys know what? At the end of the day, I appreciate you guys all so much. And thank you so much for chilling with us during Spider-Man week. Oh my God. It has been a blast. We have been doing greatly with you guys. So much participation, so many people coming out, joining the conversation. And if you guys have not subscribed yet, don't forget to smack that subscribe button because we're doing stuff like this every week, man. We got stuff coming down. We got the Hawkeye review next week. I'm going to be guesting on a Let's Talk podcast tomorrow night. So, guys, go check that out. And yeah, guys, we got not Mandalorian. Oh my God, bro. This will be the first year without Mandalorian. We got Book of Boba Fett coming out that Lowe is going to be hosting for that series. So that's exciting, guys. But yeah, don't forget to subscribe for all of our future content. Every week we're doing something. And yeah, guys, like I said, don't forget to leave your just review what you thought about Spider-Man No Way Home in general and some of your theories about what is a hold for the future. And yeah, guys, we're close to 100 subs. So yeah, one more time, guys. Let's try and get there before New Year's. I really feel like we can do it. 100 subs in like 6 months on the channel. I low-key fuck with it. But nah, that's not with the help of you guys. So we appreciate it so much. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And yeah, guys, we'll see you on the next one. Peace.